What's up, Arky family? Welcome back to my channel. So today for you guys, I'm doing a video I've never done before. It's a Dollar Tree organizing and hack video. So with everything going on, I pretty much been inside my house cleaning and organizing, so I decided to film myself reorganizing some of the cabinets and closets inside of my house. I've been mainly using Dollar Tree products to do this, and so far I have loved how everything has turned out. This video I actually filmed 2 weeks ago, so I've gotten used to how everything's set up, and it has been so much more organized than before. When Matt asked for something, I could clearly say this is where it's at versus it's somewhere there, go ahead and dig around. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this video to 5,000 thumbs up, and let me know if you want to see when I do my linen closet. That is an adventure in itself. If you guys want to see that, I'll make sure I record that as well. I hope you guys are all staying safe, and if you are an essential worker, know that I appreciate it and my heart is with you guys. I have two sisters that are nurses. One of them is actually dealing with COVID patients. My dad works at a hospital. My best friend is a grocery store manager. My brother works at a bank, and they're all considered essential employees. My husband still is considered an essential employee, which I was surprised about. He's an engineer and he falls under the construction category. So these are all people that are still continuing to go to work, and you know, it makes me super nervous, but at the same time, I'm so thankful that I have people that are out there still continuing to help for the greater good. So thank you to all you guys. My heart is with you guys, and to those of you who can't stay home, please stay home, stay safe. Yeah, so now let's begin this video.
So this is below my bathroom sink. It's slightly organized in the sense that I have things in bins, and that's about it. I want to create some type of shelving system under here without actually putting a shelving system under there. There's pipes that are popping out into it, and so that would make it complicated. Another goal of mine when it comes to organizing below the sink is I want to get all my bathroom supplies, the cleaning supplies, into its own bin versus a bin that is a mixture of bathroom stuff and then other household cleaning supplies. So to create the shelves that I need, I'm going to be using these organizing shelves from Dollar Tree. These things are awesome, especially if you have an area like I do below my sink where there's not really shelves and there's a lot of wasted space. This helps me take more advantage of that wasted space that I have and also organize. Next up, I'm going to be using these fridge soda can storage bins from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use one of them to place Matt's extra supplies. And what I mean by that is Matt uses a specific type of body wash that actually just got discontinued, so he bought a bunch of them. So I put that inside of the storage bin, as well as one of his extra deodorant, so just extra bath stuff that he has. Body care supplies, whatever you want to call it. I go ahead and place that under the shelves. And then I got these bins also from Dollar Tree. They are 3 for $1, really good price. And I'm using that to put all of my extra stuff in. So I have extra nasal sprays because right now my nose is really congested from my pregnancy and allergies. And I have like nasal strips. So I just place all of my extra supplies under there. And then I use another bin to add our extra toothpastes and extra toothbrushes. We always have extra toothbrushes on hand so that when people sleep over and they forget it, we have something to give them. And this was, oh, you guys, this worked so well because before all that stuff was in that green bin you saw earlier on. Now I'm going to be taking these big white storage bins from Dollar Tree. Now these are so good for organizing cleaning supplies under sinks and stuff. I tend to use them to begin with. As you saw, I already had one. So I'm going to be placing this bin on top of the shelves and adding all of my extra cleaning supplies that I tend not to use too often. So there's a carpet cleaner inside of there. There is a paint washer thing for your hands. If you're painting like with actual paint on the walls, it takes the paint off your hands really well. So items that I use, I just don't use them too often. And I'm also placing some extra items that I'm not using right now. It's just extras I have on hand. Thank God before all this, COVID-19 stuff started happening, I had a bunch of extra Lysol that people had bought us for our wedding. I had like a lot of extra Lysol and Swiffer little, what are they, pads? So I'm very fortunate in that category, and trust me, I use this stuff. Every single time Matt comes home, I wipe the handles and everything. Matt's job is considered essential. So right now in Illinois, we have a stay-at-home order, but Matt doesn't get to stay home. His job, though, is talking about trying to figure out a way for them to work from home. So then to the other side, I used a shelf again. I wish I had 2 shelves, but I was running out. So I used 1 shelf, and then I take another dish pan, and in that dish pan, I added all of my bathroom cleaning supplies and extra bathroom supplies. So like extra hand soap and an extra shampoo. This has been working so well for Matt and I. Actually did this about 2 weeks ago, and it just makes it so much easier because before it was all the same stuff in the same bin. So house cleaning supplies, extra supplies, and the bathroom supplies. So every time you were looking for something, you're just kind of rummaging around. And now we have somewhere where we know this bin has all of our bathroom supplies, and this bin is mainly just extra supplies when we run out of something, or if need be, a random carpet cleaner because Pepper peed on our carpet. Our house is all hardwood, so the only carpets that we have are just random rugs that I have placed in the front room and then in the room that I film in. So it's not like we use it too often, like I said. I did this about 2 weeks ago, and it has worked out so well for us. And then if Matt needs to get to his extra stuff, or I have to, it's not a big deal to remove, the little toothpaste bin in the front. It's just so much more organized. And then I love that those shelves create the extra height so that it's more organized, and then I can use some of that wasted space that I had before. For me to organize under my bathroom sink, it only cost me $8, and like I said, I absolutely love it. Now I'm going to be reorganizing under my kitchen sink. So under my kitchen sink, I don't think it's necessarily terrible, but again, there's wasted space, and I also wanted to have a bin where it was specifically kitchen stuff. So what I'm going to start off with is creating a little storage bin that's going to be hanging off of the side of my kitchen cabinet, and inside of this bin I'm going to just be adding extra sponges that I have, and I'm going to use some command strips from Dollar Tree. It's the Dollar Tree brand. So when it comes to the Dollar Tree brand, I can't say that they're the best command strips and they can hold a bunch of weight, so that's why I'm putting sponges inside of that. If I was going to put something that was heavier, I'd rather get the name brand command strips. So all I do is just stick that to my kitchen cabinet and then place my sponges inside of there. I also have a little scrubber. It's like a hand scrubber from Dollar Tree, and it was able to hold the weight of that and the sponges just fine. Those items are very lightweight. I'm moving the cabinet door back and forth here to try to see if it's fallen down, and it's not fallen down. Under my kitchen sink, I want to do the same thing that I did under the bathroom sink, where I'm using shelves to take advantage of wasted space and then also place things under the shelves. I was running out of those shelves you saw earlier, but I had some of these corner shelves from Dollar Tree, so I'm using mainly those under the kitchen sink and just trying my best to organize as I go, figuring out what works for me, what should I do to make it more convenient for Matt and I. Dollar Tree has a great selection of storage bins. I'm using this bin to put all of my kitchen cleaning supplies in. I had a bin down there with kitchen cleaning supplies and again some household cleaning supplies, and I just wanted to create 2 different bins so I knew what was actually for the kitchen and what was for around the house. In the other bin that's below the sink, I reorganized it where I had the items that I use more frequently in the front, and then the ones that I don't use as often in the back. So when I open that and if I need something, I'm able to easily reach the stuff that's in the front. And in that bin, it's mainly stuff that we've been using in the basement or by the back outdoor door. So like the Lysol wipes I've been using on the outside door that goes toward the backyard. And then there's stuff like the TSP solution that we've been using on the basement because we've been cleaning a lot down there, getting it all prepared. This next item I'm going to share with you guys is not from Dollar Tree, but I recommend it so much if you tend to recycle, reuse grocery bags. So it's just this little grocery bag holder. You can just put it directly over your kitchen cabinet with the handles that are on it, or drill it into your kitchen cabinet. I got it from Amazon. If I can remember, because I forget all the time, I'll link it down below for you guys. I love this thing so much. I tend to reuse grocery bags all the time for different purposes. I don't really throw them away. You can always take the grocery bags and fold them up all nicely and place them inside of there so they're really easy to take out through the holes that are around this thing, but I don't have time for that. I am not going to sit there folding grocery bags or placing them all nicely to do that. I don't got time for that. but it's so much better than just throwing a bunch of grocery bags under your sink, which is how I had it for a long time until I got this thing. I recommend it so much, and that's how I reorganized under my kitchen sink using pretty much all Dollar Tree products minus that little one that was from Amazon. And that thing for sure cost me under $10. I just can't remember the exact price of it, but again, I'll try to remember to link it down in my description box if you are interested. This was an organizational hack I really wanted to try that I saw on Pinterest. You can take a tension rod and use it to hang cleaning supplies off of that have like a squirt bottle or a handle. So I decided to try it. I got this tension rod from Target. I think it cost me $3.98, and you just take the tension rod, twist it into place so it's nice and tight, and then you're able to hang cleaning supplies off of it. So I was able to add 3 of them onto that tension rod before the tension rod started to slide down on me. I know that if I had a tension rod where the ends were a little bit bigger, it probably worked better and hold more weight. You can also get these little, it's like little hooks that can hold a rod into place, and you would have to just screw it into your cabinets or wherever you're placing this. I didn't want to do that. So that's an option if you want to try it. I ended up keeping the tension rod down there, but the only thing that's hanging off of it is that Miss Meyer spray, which is a spray I use like in every single room. You can see it works, but I think you need a thicker or better tension rod for it to hold more weight. So now we're going to be moving on to the spice area inside of my kitchen. Oh my gosh, it's a hot mess, and I really wanted to organize this thing. So I was able to find a spice rack for only $1 at Dollar Tree. And this actually fits into my very thin narrow cabinets. I have the weirdest kitchen cabinets, I'm telling you guys. They are so tall. I don't know who's supposed to be able to reach at the top of these things. I have to use a step stool to reach into some of my cabinets. We try to put things that we rarely ever use on the very tops of the cabinets, but like I said, it's just very odd. So this spice rack, oh my gosh, it was a game changer for inside of that spice area, because like I said, and as you saw, it was a hot mess. So every time we would be looking for a spice, we would have to like dig around for it. We usually had the salt at the front, and because we use that so much, but then like if you're trying to get to a certain type of seasoning like lemon herb where we don't use it all the time, it's like digging through a big mess, and this just worked so well. So I tried to put the taller spices in the back and then keep the spices that we tend to use the most in the front. As I said earlier, I did all of this stuff about 2 weeks ago, and this has worked out very nicely for Matt and I. And Matt asked me, he's like, where did you get that spice rack from? I like it a lot. I was like, Dollar Tree, only a freaking $1. And this made that area look so much better than it did before, and it works really well for us. We can clearly see the spices that we need versus having to dig around everywhere. So where that hot mess was before, there were some packets that I have of seasonings, but they're like not in a little spice container. So I got some bins again from Dollar Tree, 3 for $1, and I added those seasonings inside of those bins and placed those up on a shelf where I had random macaroni and cheese, and I put the macaroni and cheese by the rest of the pasta. Sometimes, you know, I just place things in areas and I'm like, I'll deal with it later, and later never comes. Okay guys, now we're gonna move into the, I don't even know what to call this. It's kind of like the cleaning supply closet. It's in my front room. It's very thin. There's only one shelf, and in that shelf we put our paper towels. There's a lot of waste of space in there, and eventually we want to add another shelf in there. I don't know when that time's gonna come. So I was able to find this hanging shelf that you attach to an existing shelf. You just slide it on, hook it on. This is not from Dollar Tree. I got it at Ross Dress for Less for only $2.99. So I went ahead and I placed that under the existing shelf that I already have inside of that closet, and I was able to put the cleaning supplies that are in that closet inside of that shelf. And before I had it in a bin that was just kind of down at the ground, and these things I use quite often in the front room, especially recently, just consistently wiping handles and surfaces. Off of that, I was actually able to hang the multi-surface cleaner that I use the most. It's from Miss Meyer. It's this mum scent that smells so good. So I was able to hang it there, and it's nice and convenient because that's actually the thing I use the most beside the Lysol wipes right now. So as you can see, the bottom of the closet is a hot mess. There was a box that has a sewing machine in it that has to go in the basement. Finally got it down to the basement. And then those bins that you see is what was holding my cleaning supplies before, and they were just sitting on top of that box. This closet is what holds our vacuum, our broom, and I wanted to make it so it's more organized and they're not just all kind of leaning against the wall. So Dollar Tree carries command strips, name brand command strip, that you can use to hang brooms, dusters, whatever it might be that fits on top of them to your wall. So I'm going to be using a command strip to hang a duster that I have. Now, the handle of my broom doesn't go on top of the command strips nicely, so instead I'm using these metal hooks from Dollar Tree. These come with screws that you can use to screw these to your wall. I didn't want to use a screw. Instead, I used a command strip. My broom doesn't weigh that much, so I knew that it would be able to hold the weight of my broom. Now, the spacing that I had between my shelf and that hook wasn't able to hold the handle properly, so I had to bend the hook so that my handle of the broom could just glide right onto it. So if you have to bend that hook around to make it work for you, you can go ahead and do that. This works so much better for me, and I just like the way that it looks better than me just placing my broom inside of the closet and it just kind of leans against a wall. I ended up using the metal hooks also to hang some of the pieces of my vacuum. I don't really use them, but I didn't want them just sitting on the floor inside of a bin, so I just used the metal hooks so that they could hang off of the hooks. I felt very accomplished after finishing that closet. So then I decided to go back into the kitchen. I have this cabinet that has pans in it and they're just kind of lying there because there's not enough shelves and storage units, I guess, under there. So to organize like the cookie sheets and pizza pans that I have, I'm going to be using a lid organizer. Dollar Tree carries them. I couldn't find them. All I could find was that napkin ring holder. So I ended up going to Target and getting this lid organizer instead. So I started to clear everything out and take the lid organizer and started to place pans and sheets on top of there. Now there is a shelf inside of that cabinet, as you can see, that was in the way, and I ended up taking that shelf out and placing it into the other cabinet that's on the opposite side of it where it could be used. And so I was able to clear it out and make space so that everything fit nicely under this particular cabinet, but I was still able to use the shelf in another area. Right beside that, I ended up using one of the Dollar Tree shelves and placing some glass bowls that I have. We don't use them too often, so that's why I placed them in this area, and the other cabinet that I'm talking about holds more of my pots and pans, so I don't really need the glass bowls near the pots and the pans. This works so much better for Matt and I, and again, it's just so much more organized than what it was before, because before it was really just a pain in the butt. Lots of times Matt would go under there and he's like, this is so disorganized. I do have a couple more cookie sheets and pizza pans under the storage bin that's in the stove. So you know how lots of stoves, they have like a little bin under there that's for those type of things. I do have some more in that area. This looks so much better than it did before, and I'm so happy I was able to take that shelf that was in there and use it in the other cabinet, because the other cabinet I'm talking about didn't have a shelf before.
So that's it for this organizing video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas. Maybe you can use some things that you already have on hand so you don't have to go out to any stores. I know for me, I had quite a bit of the bins already on hand. Hopefully it helped give you some ideas as we all continue to stay at home and try to stay healthy. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys next time, hopefully with a DIY, not a haul, because I ain't going anywhere. Okay, take care. Bye.